Alpha men occupy the highest possible position in the social hierarchy and power dynamics of the society we live in. They are also at the top of the food chain. Because of their aggressive and commanding demeanor, they are the ones that set the pace for the rest of the group. Sigma guys are the kind of men that are content to observe the action from a distance in order to thoughtfully and methodically plot their next move. Never scared to take charge in a tense situation. Something intriguing takes place when these two types of guys make their way through a cosmos that is always evolving. Alpha men and Sigma males never interact with one another. But what accounts for that? It is a question that has been posed countless times in the past, and one that continues to perplex people even in modern times. Whatever the case may be, there are many who hold the opinion that it is a fundamental rule of nature, while others hold the view that it is only a question of respect. The following is a list of the top 10 reasons why alpha men never mate with Sigma guys. Number 1. The danger that is not known to Sigma. You should avoid picking a fight with a Sigma guy since his unpredictability is one of the most powerful weapons in his arsenal. A Sigma may rapidly turn any situation on its head with an unexpected maneuver that takes even the most seasoned alphas off guard. An alpha will take immediate action to protect himself, while a Sigma can quickly turn any situation on its head. The element of surprise that Sigma guys bring to the table is what makes them such a threat to alpha males because the latter never quite know what to anticipate from them. That is not to imply that Sigma males are inherently evil, rather the opposite, in fact. However, when they feel threatened or provoked, they are more than capable of releasing a secret force that many alphas are likely to underestimate. Because of this, alphas avoid interacting with Sigmas as much as possible. They cannot take that chance since there is too much potential for an unanticipated catastrophe. The difficulty is that when an immature alpha repeatedly attempts to threaten or intimidate a Sigma, things can rapidly go from bad to worse. This is the situation that causes the problem. It's possible that being on the receiving end of Sigma's wrath will be an experience you'll never forget. Number 2. Sigma males never showed any sign of retreat. If the challenger, while alpha males typically engage in quick and dirty, spur-of-the-moment techniques to acquire what they want as soon as possible, beta guys are more likely to plan ahead. Sigma men are known for their methodically deliberate decision-making process, which places an emphasis on less direct but more reliable routes to accomplishing their objectives. Unlike alpha guys, who are typically racing forward with abandon, beta males are more. Sigma guys are known to put their knowledge and expertise to use before adopting any kind of action, and they typically have a great comprehension and awareness of the repercussions of any choice they make. They don't typically act on impulse or without giving due consideration to the wider picture, which makes them far less likely to take chances or find themselves in precarious situations. Alpha men are unable of competing with this degree of preparation and planning, and as a general rule, they will want to avoid coming into conflict with someone who can anticipate their moves before they have even taken them. Because of their superior farsightedness, Sigma men have an unbeatable edge over alphas in terms of outmaneuvering them. Those individuals who are present during these exchanges have direct first-hand knowledge of this undeniable reality. Number 3. The inability of being tricked or outsmarted. A Sigma alpha male is someone who thrives on being in command at all times and does not take kindly to any challenge to their authority or position of power. This causes them to be fiercely protective of their position of dominance, and in the end, this craving for control can lead them to drive away potential rivals all by themselves, even if these rivals are Sigma males, rather than risk being outwitted or outmaneuvered. This is because they do not want to risk being outwitted or outmaneuvered. It was in the best interest of alpha males to maintain a safe distance from anyone they could see as a potential danger to their dominion. Even if a Sigma offers helpful advice or insights into a given situation, an alpha is still hesitant to give away too much of his personal or professional power in favor of another person's opinion. This is true regardless of any beneficial partnerships that could be established by coming together. Even if a Sigma offers helpful advice or insights into a given situation. The fact of the matter is that the priorities of an alpha guy lay mostly within the. And because of their ambitions to rule the world, everything that does not fall within their purview is likely to be regarded as disruptive interference and promptly cast aside as such. Even while alpha men and Sigma males are both capable of creating effective partnerships with one another, the former is much more likely to do so due to pride and power issues. Hungry alpha frequently has trouble taking advice or following directions from those who they do not perceive to be holding Alphas have a tendency to take the easiest route possible and steer clear of sigmas entirely rather than putting themselves in a situation where they may be susceptible. Number 4. Alpha's consciousness of the ways in which sigma's brilliance has benefited her. Despite all of this, alpha men stand to gain a great deal by having a deeper comprehension of the full potential of sigma. An alpha who is aware of a sigma's intelligence and ingenuity is able to do more than he ever could have hoped for on his own and can do more than he ever could have imagined. When sigma males are allowed to make their own contributions on their own time, they have the ability to push limits and come up with original ideas that alpha guys could never have conceived of. With an accurate comprehension on both parties' parts, it's possible that alpha and sigma working together might provide phenomenal results. The only way for alpha men to function in harmony with sigma males is for the alphas to treat sigma guys with respect and acknowledge the potential that they possess. When this occurs, there is no ceiling to what they are capable of accomplishing. The most important thing for alpha men to do is figure out how to let go of their drive for control and give sigma guys the opportunity to take the initiative. This will aid both alpha and sigma in a myriad of different ways and open up a whole new universe of opportunity. Truly, alphas have a lot to gain by learning how to collaborate with sigmas in order to bring out the best in themselves and their work. Why then would they put themselves in danger when the potential payoffs are so high? When done well, collaborating with a sigma may be one of the most enriching and productive experiences an alpha can have. All that is required is a modicum of awareness, comprehension, and respect. That's all. That's all it takes to put together a formidable squad. Number 5. Movement of a tactical nature. When an alpha male feels threatened or provoked, he may frequently resort to using physical force or aggressive behavior to acquire what he wants. On the other hand, sigma guys gravitate toward a more strategic approach and are more likely to rely on their brains and cunning methods. He is aware of when to back down, how to get out of sticky situations, and how to outwit those he is competing against. Because he understands people's feelings and can read their body language, he is able to gauge whether it is appropriate to move on with a plan. Or, you might choose to stay in the fight because Sigma's ability to be tactical is a strength that could prove to be quite useful later on. It is frequently more useful to know when to tactically withdraw or just wait for a better moment than to try to force one's way through a difficult situation. If a Sigma feels threatened, he may simply withdraw and plot his next move without ever being forced to resort to physical force or aggressive behavior. Sigma is able to maintain control of the situation because of this, which not only throws off the alpha and makes him question his own methods but also allows him to remain confused. Number 6. The potentially lethal power that Sigma's observation and silence both possess. Sigma males have an extraordinary capacity to assess circumstances very rapidly and can make decisions well in advance of when alpha guys will have the chance to do so. Because of their keen perception, they have an advantage in every given circumstance or conflict. Sigma males, who traditionally play the role of impartial observers on the sidelines, have developed an impressive level of expertise in evaluating and forecasting potential outcomes based on what is occurring in the here and now, as well as in preparing for whatever may lie ahead. Because they are unable to come close to matching their degree of insight or intelligence, alpha men find it difficult to compete with or outthink illness due to the high analytical talents they possess. Alpha men are aware that their power over the issue might be flagrantly challenged by a Sigma guy who will not back down no matter what if their moves are not exactly calculated. This is something that they are well aware of. It's not hard to see why guys of these two types tend to keep their distance from one another. Alpha, because they are unsure of what Sigmas are up, males do not want to get into contact with someone whose behavior is unpredictable and whose power is unclear. It is possible to find Sigma guys threatening due to the high amount of observation and stillness they display. Even for alpha guys, this is frequently a significant component that serves as a powerful dissuader from actively connecting with someone of this quality. Number 7. The aggressive and domineering tendencies of alphas can be a double-edged sword. Alpha men thrive on being in positions of authority and always look for opportunities to demonstrate their superiority, regardless of the circumstances. Sigma males, on the other hand, are typically satisfied to sit on the sidelines and watch the action unfold while intently assessing each action taken by others around them in order to determine whether or not it is essential for them to intervene. Because of the differences in how they handle situations, the two categories of men do not get along very well together. On the other hand, An alpha guy strives to demonstrate his dominance over every given circumstance. A sigma is more likely to avoid confrontation until it is absolutely essential. When they come face to face with a sigma, this discrepancy might place alpha males in a position where they are forced to compromise themselves. Not only can alpha males not outthink or predict the moves of a sigma, but their aggression and dominance can be taken as a challenge that will motivate an already calculated being to show them who is really in charge. This is because alpha males are unable to outthink or predict the moves of a sigma. This manner of thinking has the potential to do significant harm to the alpha's reputation as well as his place in the social hierarchy. Because of this, a good number of them steer clear of any kind of conflict with sigma guys completely. If an alpha male believes that he should be the one to determine the course of action in any given circumstance, a sigma guy will not hesitate to put him in his place if he seeks to exert control over a circumstance that isn't really his to manage. Alpha guys would prefer not put themselves in a vulnerable position by challenging someone they are aware they are outmatched by and would avoid confrontation altogether. Number 8. The regard that both parties have for one another. Alpha males and sigma males are two distinct types of powerful men that rarely interact with one another despite the similarities between them. They both have a profound regard for one of them in particular. Alphas show some awe and admiration for the cleverness and cunning of sigmas. Both sorts of men are aware of what it takes to be successful, and while sigmas revere alphas for their bravery and power, both types of men have much to gain from one another. Sigma guys are generally more strong behind the scenes and can bring a fresh point of view to the table, in contrast to alpha males, who may be more outspoken and straightforward. Both types adhere to an unspoken code of honor that places a premium on strength and self-assurance, as do alpha males. While sigma men place a premium on modesty and insight. Even while there are significant distinctions between these two sorts of strong people, the things that separate them are also the things that bring them together: understanding and compassion. Because of this appreciation, alpha guys are able to maintain their distinctive qualities without endangering the interests of their peers. Number 9. Neither party is interested in explicitly exerting their dominance over the other. It might be challenging to develop a genuine working relationship between these two categories of males. An eager coupling of an alpha and a sigma does have the potential for tremendous success. Yet, it might be difficult for them to find common ground and create confidence in one another as a working relationship. The inclination of the alpha male to take charge of every situation may come into conflict with the laid-back attitude and calculating approach of the sigma male, resulting in disputes that are difficult to resolve and cannot be readily resolved. Especially in the event that both guys are obstinate in their own conviction. Because none of them understands or empathizes with the other, they are more likely to have explosive outbursts, which can have severe repercussions for the endeavor that is now being carried out. This typically results from the alpha's desire to directly influence the decisions made by the sigma, which can be regarded as either a lack of respect for their or as an attempt to exert control over them. Sigma men, on the other hand, are often more cautious and hesitant to participate in any kind of power play with an alpha. They are aware that attempting to outmaneuver an alpha may often result in tragedy, and that even if sigma is successful in the end, it is not worth the amount of energy needed to try to achieve that victory. Anything is pointless to try to convince him or anybody else of anything since he doesn't give a damn about it in the first place. He is solely interested in doing the work and getting out of there. Number 10. A little tale involving two different forces. Both fire and ice are extremely strong elements that, depending on how they are utilized, are capable of wreaking havoc or producing works of art. Fire is an element that brings with it a sense of fervor, danger, and chaos since it is uncontrolled and out of control. It has the potential to be both destructive and freeing, devouring everything in its path while also giving the planet with the light and heat it needs to function. Ice is at the complete opposite extreme of the temperature range. All stoic composure and poised composure. Some people believe that with just one look from icy blue eyes, they might cause a whole city to shake with dread. Ice possesses an invisible power that has the ability to halt time when it is utilized wisely. It's possible that these two components will appear to be competitors, vying for dominance over one another. On the other hand, when fire and ice work together in perfect harmony, they have the potential to produce something that is larger than each one by itself. The icy grasp of winter may be made more bearable with the help of fire, while the searing heat of summer can be made more bearable with the help of ice. Together, They are symbolic of the dualistic equilibrium between opposites, known as yin and yang, that is essential for the existence of life. It is an age-old metaphor for collaboration amongst opposites that these two forces are able to cohabit while being clearly different. This has cemented their status as everlasting emblems of power inside our society.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do share with your friends so we may continue to create them. To see more videos like this, subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Additionally, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.